So who's crazy enough to play through Subnautica with no vehicles, no bases, and no seaglide? Oh, and also on hardcore. Me, that's who. Well, that's past me. This is present me. Mostly present me will be talking, but every once in a while, you'll hear past me talk. Like this. This is gonna suck. I think he's talking about the run, not the video. So let's talk about the rules of the run. First, no vehicles. That means no sea moth, no prawn suit, and definitely no cyclops. Actually, kind of a cyclops. Reverse, we'll clarify that cyclops business later. Rule number 2, no bases, no structures, no habitat builder at all. Why God, why? Rule number 3 is no seaglide. Now by itself, maybe not a big deal, but when you put that together with rule number 1 and rule number 2, that's what makes this run a doozy. With no base, we can't have a modification station, which means no ultra glide fins and no ultra high capacity tank. That means basic fins and a high capacity tank of the non-ultra variety. What a loser. So not only are we going to be really slow, but just like when my wife watches TV over my forehead, I'm going to be low on oxygen. Did I mention we were doing this on hardcore? That means one mistake and the entire run is over. My God, why have I done this? Now, 2 other modifiers we're going to use to make the run a little bit harder. The first is turn off PDA pause. This means if I bring the PDA up and I go to take a dump, my guy is going to drown, or at least starve to death. Second, we're going to set the color grade to filmic. This makes the game much, much darker, like scary dark. You'll see what I mean later. Okay, now that we're clear on all the rules, let's go. In the beginning, we'll be like every other Subnautica hobo, and we're collecting garbage so that we can make the essentials, like an oxygen tank, fins, and a survival knife. Stab! Now luckily I spawned very near a thermal vent, so I ran over there to grab some quicksilver along with some quartz for glass, and I was able to make a very early high capacity tank. And high capacity. So I think we're gonna need like 4 of those. Using some of the silver I had already collected, I crafted a wiring kit, and then a short trip for some creep vine allowed me to make some mesh and craft a rebreather. Look at that, man. Rebreather in like the first few minutes. You're awesome. My early confidence did not last long. Wow. That is really dark. I literally can't see what's in front of my face. Since it's way too dark and scary to do anything, I pinned the recipe for the flashlight as well as a couple other essentials like the repair tool and the scanner, and we waited for the cold light of day to rescue us. Just a second. After a close encounter with a crash fish, which, let's be honest, could have been the first real run killer, we were able to craft those previously pinned tools. I then made a bold declaration that may come back to haunt me later in this run. I never worry about like leviathans, like reapers and stuff, and one of them's gonna kill me in this run. That's what's gonna happen, and it's gonna suck. I think we need to go scan for pieces of a laser cutter so that we can get into the Aurora. Unfortunately, before I could really leave for any important task, I had to create some storage, and I hate making floating lockers. But we can't make a base, so I don't have a choice. Release the locker. Oh, I didn't put him in the locker. I dropped everything on the ground. At the advice of my chat, I then crafted an air bladder because they are much improved since the 2.0 patch, acting like they do in Below Zero, and it turns out this was a fantastic idea as it saved my hide more than once on this run. Whee! I finally got around to scanning those laser cutter fragments, getting a pretty good scare from a tiger plant on one of them. Big money, big money, big money. Oh, yes. Oh, Jesus. That really did scare me. Even with the laser cutter blueprint, I couldn't go into the Aurora yet because it actually hadn't exploded. So in the meantime, I decided to visit one of the islands to gather some more supplies. While doing a very scary nighttime swim out to the floater island, the Aurora did then decide to explode. So like a Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial was on, I stopped to watch the show. After the explosion, I made like Dory and I just kept on swimming. Got a little lost a couple times because I stupidly refused to make a compass, but after swimming through most of the night, I made it to Floater Island. So on the Floater Island, my main goal is to just visit the 3 Degasi bases for food, water, batteries, and to grab the purple tablet that's here. I also made sure to stop and eat some bulbo tree pieces. I could have ate some Chinese potatoes instead, but then I just would have been hungry in like an hour. Having gotten everything off of Floater Island that I could need, I swam back to my life pod while planning my next move. Let's craft a radiation suit and go get diamonds, ion cubes, and purple tablets from the other island. So after getting back to the life pod, I followed my own advice because sometimes you should just listen to an expert. So I crafted the radiation suit and I started swimming for Gun Island. On the way, I made kind of a scary confession to my audience. Got 300 plus hours, probably almost 400 hours in game, but I've never hatched a cuttlefish. Please don't tell the Subnautica subreddit. Once I reached Gun Island, I went around to the exterior and in the caves and collected all the purple tablets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. While I was in the caves, I also grabbed a handful of diamonds and a ton of lithium. Eat your heart out, Elon Musk. Then I used a purple tablet to get into the base so I could grab a couple of ion cubes. What the hell's an ion cube? Then I used the alien elevator to go down to the next level, and can I just say for a second here that Riley has got some giant balls on him, right? If I'm on an alien planet and I'm in an alien base and I see a glowing green force field, you know, my first inclination is not to jump in. On the bottom floor of the base, I grabbed the last ion cube and another purple tablet, and I go ahead and use that purple tablet to unlock the gun door. That way it's already open for me, and 2, it's not taking up space in my inventory. Back on my life pod, I use those precious diamonds to finally craft that laser cutter. You may remember me talking earlier about how in normal runs I am no longer afraid of any of the Leviathans. And as I'm heading toward the Aurora, it's dawning on me how defenseless I'm going to be without my seaglide. Contrary to popular advice, I do fear the Reaper and I do not have any cowbell. I have some slight anxiety about this Reaper at the front of the Aurora, but I think we'll be fine. I mean, normally I have a seaglide to at least scoot past him. Now I do not. Luckily, I saw no trace of that Reaper as I was getting to the Aurora, but as normal, I did see about 400 cave crawlers on my way up the ramps. Once inside the Aurora, I made my way to the cargo bay and started collecting all the food and drink and batteries out of the boxes there. There was one particular box that I was having trouble getting to. I should have just left it, but the mystery was too much for me to resist. What's in the box? It was just water. Water was in the box. So stupid. I then made my way down to the engine room and started all the repairs. All 2,968 of them. That it? Beautiful. After that, it was through the prawn bay, stop off in the pantry to grab a plethora of food and water, and then finally make our way to the captain's cabin so that we can get the blueprints for the Neptune rocket, our best friend. After leaving the Aurora, I took a ill-advised detour to the bulb zone to dive into a wreck and get the blueprint for the reinforced dive suit. Back at my life pod, it was time to plan the next leg of the journey. Now let's go get the Cyclops shield generator blueprint just to get it out of the way. So now is a great time to revisit that no Cyclops issue from earlier. In order to beat the game, we have to craft the Neptune rocket. Now, part of the Neptune rocket requires a Cyclops shield generator. That shield generator can only be crafted on the Cyclops itself. Ergo, we have to craft a Cyclops to beat the game, but we do not have to pilot it. Now, luckily, the wreck I used to collect the Cyclops shield generator blueprint is very near an alien cache where you can use a purple tablet to get inside, and there's 6 ion cubes in here. This will ensure that I do not have to make a prawn suit later to mine ion cubes. The game then announces what is normally a terrifying message.
This ecological biome, much 7 of the 9 preconditions for stimulating
right above it.
humans.
Right above it. Should we do it? Should we do it? Now, since I'm made of sterner stuff than Craig McGill, I go ahead and dive down and grab as many blood oils as I can hold. Benzene. Now the message timing was really fortuitous because with these blood oils back at the life pod, I'm now able to craft the benzene, the synthetic fibers, and my reinforced dive suit, which I need before I go to the Lost River, so this is perfect. Now the reinforced dive suit is important because the lava zone fire damage, the heat damage, is almost completely negated by the reinforced dive suit. It was time to prep for my journey to the deep, so I crafted some more high capacity oxygen tanks until I had a total of 5. After making those oxygen tanks and doing a final inventory check, it was time to head to the Lost River with no vehicle and no seaglide. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we're like directly above the hole, so just get up, get some oxygen, fill our tanks. Don't forget to fill your freaking tanks. Gotta fill your tanks. Don't fill your tanks. You're gonna die. Okay, all tanks are full. Bladder is full. Air bladder, not my bladder. So if you're not aware of this strategy, the idea here is to make multiple oxygen tanks, fill them all up, and then you can switch tanks while you're underwater. The idea is to switch tanks out when you get to about 45 seconds worth of oxygen. Why is that? Well, because when you hit 45, the tank is actually empty, and the remaining 45 is the breath in your character's lungs. This is the most important part of my journey, and the area that I estimate has the highest chance of me dying and ending this run. I'm using the Lost River entrance that is on the border of the mountains and the bulb zone. It's a great entrance, it's easy to get into, and it has a very direct route to the inactive lava zone. However, there are 2 leviathans in the way, 1 ghost leviathan and 1 sea dragon. We'll cross our fingers and hope that both of them are too busy eating other things. Jesus Christ. Don't you worry about me. Okay? Mind your business. Okay, so the Ghost Leviathan gave me a scare for sure, but that was nothing compared to what was coming up next. Also, you'll face the dragon. Don't worry about the dragon. Don't even mention the dragon. Oh, are you kidding me? I was like, statistically, the dragon will be off doing something else. Don't worry about it. And he's right there. Oh my God, he's roaring. I don't even know where he is. Don't even look around, dude. Spoiler alert, I should have looked around. Jesus, fuck. My heart. Let's just say after that moment that if I had been playing while sitting on the toilet, I would have been sitting in the right chair. Well, having literally escaped the jaws of death, we are now inside of the lava castle. So I used the purple tablet that I brought with me to grab a blue tablet, and the Emperor gives me a fright. Oh Jesus. We also use a second tablet downstairs to unlock the blueprint for the ion batteries and ion power cells. And finally, we use an ion cube to activate the teleporter that will take us back to the gun base. No more swimming through the Lost River, thank God. Through the portal. Another gutsy move by Riley, if you ask me. Now this next part goes pretty fast because all I really need to do is swim back to my life pod, craft the second blue tablet, and then go back to the portal and go straight back into the lava. I've got to head down to the primary containment facility and use both my blue tablets down there, but first, I've got 2 sea dragons I've got to get by. Let's pray that it goes better than last time. What are the odds of that? Oh, there he is. Oh, shit. That's the one that tried to eat me last time. We're just going to get low. We're going to get low. Oh, he's getting low too. Oh, he sees me. He's freaking coming. Jesus Christ. Just get low. Oh, did he hit me with fire? Did he bite? He didn't bite me. If he bit me, I'd be dead, right? I think I would be dead. He hit me though. Maybe he swiped me with a claw. Don't you be looking over here. You don't see me, do you? Oh, no. Alright, switch directions. Try to f with his equilibrium. Oh my God. Fuck me. Okay, he's kind of going in the other direction. Just go. Just go. Oh, okay. After having to restart my heart twice, we do make it to the primary containment facility, and I use both blue tablets to get into the heart of the building. So the Sea Emperor starts talking to me, and you know, it's kind of like a phone conversation with your mom. You love her and everything, but you just want to go. So there's a few things I need to do while I'm down here. I grab 2 ion cubes, I grab a sea crown seed, and I use an ion cube to activate the hatching enzyme console. The Sea Emperor then blows away all the sand on this teleporter for us, and you know some spit or some snot had to come out of there or something. But anyway, I use the second cube to activate this teleporter, and away we go. So this teleports me to the small platform that's right outside of the quarantine enforcement platform, or the gun base as they call it. So now the goal is to go around and collect all of the ingredients for the hatching enzyme. So we're in the end game, guys. Let's start wrapping it up. After a quick trip back to my pod to clean out the inventory, we need to go get the rest of the ingredients for the hatching enzymes. It's a quick trip over to the cave by Life Pod 3 to grab an ice stalk seed. Quit looking at me! Now we already collected a sea crown seed when we were down there with the Emperor, so that one's already checked off the list. So next is a fungal sample from the mushroom forest. And I'm having a blast here because these are some fun guys. Next is a bulb bush sample from a, you guessed it, bulb bush. I had an X once that had a bulb bush. Next I jaunted over to the Lost River entrance in the mountains to grab some ghostweed. Then I got a little bit lost and had a scary moment. I'm just gonna pray to God that I'm not heading towards Reaper right now. Oh my God. Okay, there's bulbs. Let's head towards the bulbs. Let's just get to the... Oh God. That was a bone shark. That was a bone shark. That was a bone shark. The bone shark made the noise. I thought that was a Reaper roar for a minute. Holy, my life just passed before my eyes. Now with all the ingredients, we are able to go back and craft the hatching enzymes, just like nature intended. You see, little Timmy, little mommy and daddy Sea Emperor like each other very much. They gather the ingredients and they craft the hatching enzymes. So I went back through the portal to the eggs and I used those hatching enzymes like a mad scientist. Let's experiment. I, however, did not stick around to watch the new babies play with their mommy. Look, man, we got things to do. I gotta go. We'll get cured outside. Once outside and the little babies were swimming around, I stuck my hands in the baby goo. That doesn't sound right. Either way, it cured me. Do not try this at home. So now that we're cured, we can head back to the quarantine enforcement platform and stick our hand in the little glowy thing and turn off the gun. I don't know about you guys, but that needle isn't small. Riley is going to feel that in the morning. With that, the base powers down and we are free to leave the planet. There's just one little problem of building a giant rocket. Now, a while ago, I said we were in the end game, and that's pretty much true. And you might be thinking, well, most of the danger's past now. There's one little problem. Building this rocket requires some kyanite, some crystalline sulfur, and some nickel. The best place for me to grab those quickly and easily with the restrictions on my run is the lava zone. And as we saw in the lava zone last time, sea dragons are a little bit bitey. Let's go back down and see if we can get what I need while avoiding the lizard boys. Now for me and many others, nickel is usually the hardest thing to find. So I get overly excited when I find an easy piece right here. That excitement is quickly diminished. Oh, holy shit, there's a piece of nickel right there. That's nice. Oh, he's right there, man. So after that one little scare, we quickly find a second piece. But piece number 3 turns out to be a pain in my... Oh, see, nickel. Oh God, we just need one piece. Oh, every noise I hear is him coming to end me. Where are you? Don't be clipping through walls or something, man. You'd think I'd learn to keep my mouth shut as the sea dragon makes me fill my pants again. Abuse it. Oh! Oh my God! I called it. Oh my God! He clipped to that. God, I can't believe that dude came to the wall like that. I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for a sea dragon to clip through the wall. 2 seconds later, and those dragons weren't done with me yet. Holy God! Oh! No! Oh! Finally finally, after screaming out my frustrations, I find my last piece of needed nickel, and I make some kind of celebratory grunt. You figure it out. Good! I quickly make my way back to the teleporter, and as I make it back to the surface, I can breathe a heavy sigh of relief. I've never been so happy to see the sun in this game. So finally being back on the surface of the island, I'm feeling good, and we just have the one last leg of the journey here. So I craft the mobile vehicle bay finally, because I haven't needed it so far. I collect the last few pieces of the Cyclops blueprints I need, and then start collecting the last minute ingredients I'll need, like stalker teeth and deep shrooms, so I can craft things like tempered glass, titanium and plasteel ingots, hydrochloric acid, polyaniline, and ion power cells. Most of this went fairly smoothly. I did have one incident here where this warper thought he was going to get out of the water or something. But oh, God, dude, no, go away. And one other incident where I almost drowned and ruined the entire run when I'm like at the very end. Oh, shit. Thank God that bladder didn't like keep you. When I hit my head on the ceiling, it stopped using the oxygen, and I was able to use it again after I got out. Because if that didn't happen, I think this run's over right now. I think I'm dead. You would have found me in a mental institution after that. But I'm finally able to build the Cyclops. I jump in just to make the shield generator only, and then we get right back out. And then we start crafting that Neptune rocket, baby. We start out with the platform, then the gantry, the boosters, the fuel reserves, and last but not least, that big fat cockpit. With the rocket finished, we are finally ready to go home. We did it. It's been a hell of a run. We had some pretty big scares there. I changed pants multiple times during the run, but we did it. We're out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what your favorite part was. Thank you again so much for being here, and we will see you guys next time.
2, 1.